Hi, there is this news article uh, from timesnow.com. I don't know who they are, I think. Anyway, here the headline which says despite CAA NRC protests, India's love affair with PM Modi and BJP continues. And then it talks about this so called survey. It's some sort of a IANSC voter survey. I don't know who they are. They seem to find that almost 70% of the population on the ground are supportive of BJP and especially of Modi. Now, this has been my observation too. You see, I have been in India for almost 2 years recently, and I got a chance to travel to various far corners and also many rural areas, especially in eastern India. And I got some grassroots feedback that changed my opinion about people's pulse, the pulse of the people with regard to their views on the BJP and government and Prime Minister Modi. And despite the so-called Bengali Bhadralok clan, despite the social media, national TV, and international media, Prime Minister Modi and his government enjoys a huge grassroots support for precisely those items that are being criticized in the media by these so-called liberals. As to the international media, I had already stopped taking their views seriously more than 2 decades ago, since they do not represent free press anymore. Uh, Same is up to a point the case with the local media in India, and that the intelligentsia and the liberal class is out of touch with ground reality is a profound realization I got only because of my extended stay in India recently. I had already been disenchanted with the liberal in the West, with the liberals in the West, more or less, and started distancing myself because of various ideas that to me appear to be false and various positions effectively fraudulent. The general right wing tilt in the world politics today is starting from the West and sweeping across some emerging nations such as India appeared to me to be a result of or a reaction to uh, a couple of factors. One was the changing geopolitics of the world, one was emerging problems in sustainability, whether it's climate change or overpopulation, destruction of the forests and excessive pollutants in the air and the water and the fields, and general degradation of, you can say, um, the political system or the democracy is essentially being hijacked. And the culprits seem to be not so much politicians or corporations, which are all factors. The main reason is the apathy of the people like you and me. I mean, we have just lost it. We have forgotten or completely unaware of the fact that the most important stakeholder in a democracy is the citizen, and his duty does not start and end with the day of the voting. It's it stretches for the entire 4 or 5 year period, and he has to be excessively vigilant on too many things. They have to face a lot of personal sacrifice to make sure that democracy remains active in a good way. And we don't do that. People have just lost it, and that is why all the problems. So anyway, these are my realization. Warmongering by the West is one very big factor in my mind. war has become the most profitable industry, and there are a lot of people engaged and employed in various affiliated corporations and industries that essentially feed this lifestyle, this conflict-dependent lifestyle. Uh, the entire liberal class appeared to me to be engaged in a kind of false feel-good activism that doesn't mean a damn thing to anybody. It's just show. Oh, I'm also in this. I'm holding a placard and I'm jumping here and there, and I'm making the popular sound bites, and then I go on living my lifestyle and destroying the planet anyway. So these kind of things have uh, turned me against, changed my ideas a lot. It was not surprising to me, therefore, that the right wing will take control because the left wing just lost it. The liberals just lost it. Back to India and the hue and cry about the Citizenship Amendment Bill and future actions with regard to illegal immigration from neighboring Muslim nations, which India perceives as a sort of an existential crisis or a threat. This particular perception of existential threat will trump many other so-called niceties, and some of the actions would seem rather harsh or overly authoritative in the eyes of the globalized outside world and the globalization effort, and also the pseudo liberals inside of India. And but the general voting public remains overwhelmingly behind the Modi government. This has been my observation while I was in India, and this is what precisely this article is also saying, that the grassroots people, the people that really matter in a democracy, those who vote, are still solidly behind Modi, especially Modi, even more than BJP. The Modi government is fully aware of this. They can afford to, ignore what is going on in TVs and the newspapers and the international media. Hell with it. I mean, we are not there to support, a Western corporation that controls the media. We are not there to control, please whoever it is that runs the TV channel. We are there sworn to protect the interest of the people, majority of whom voted for us. And they seem to like what we are doing. The rest can go to hell. Well, they're not saying it in that harsh terms, but basically this is what it comes down to. This has been my view and observation. I have often said things uh, and projected my opinion that are not necessarily popular. But that's okay. I mean, I'd rather say what I feel is the truth and see if evidence proves otherwise so I can change my opinion rather than go along with the flow and say things that are kind of popular. There's this book by Hightower, uh, Go Against the Current. Even a dead fish can go with the flow. Well, I'm not a dead fish, and this is what I feel. This is essentially what is driving Modi, that he has the support of the people that matter. Okay, I'm done with it now.